Good morning, and welcome to Tuesday Talk. Listen to this sentence and see if you agree or not. Self respect isn't something you demonstrate in public, it is something you develop in private. For instance, if you go to a concert, that musician and artist did not just pick up an instrument for the first time right before they walked out on stage and performed an incredible concert. There have been a lot of things take place in private, behind closed doors, in long nights with tears coming down their faces when they couldn't find the lyrics to the song. A pro sports person did not just pick up a bat for the first time and step into the majors, or put on some shoulder pads and walk out into the NFL ready to play for a professional team. There have been many injuries, many practices, many coaching tips along the way that helped that person develop that you didn't see in private before they walked out onto a public stage. And sometimes we are our own worst enemy when it comes to our own self-respect, because we've allowed things that we do to ourselves in private turn out to make us look, a lack of confidence, or make us look like we're ill prepared when we face public things out there in the real society. So here are 3 healthy habits that could help you in private become more confident in public, more dependable in public, where you can count on your own self, because your private habits will create your public reputation. Number 1, I want to encourage you to start keeping promises to yourself. How many promises have you made that you didn't hold to? Things like this: I'll come home early tomorrow. I'll get up early tomorrow. I'll start working out. Maybe tomorrow's the day I'll start reading my Bible every day. I'll begin to pray. I'll watch what I eat. I'll spend more time with my family. I'll just be healthier overall. I'll go to bed early. All these things. We have made these statements, probably every single one of those statements at one time or another in a season of our life. But how many of those statements did we actually follow through with the promises we made to ourselves? Nobody else saw it, but you did. And what starts to happen is eventually you stop believing in your own self. You can't even trust your own word because you've made all of these innumerous promises to yourself, and then you didn't follow through with any of them. You're not watching what you eat. You don't go to bed any earlier today. I even know that when the hour changes sometimes, I'll keep telling myself, go to bed, I get an extra hour of sleep. Go to bed, I get an extra hour of sleep. And I'll just convince myself to stay up an extra hour because the clock's going to roll back. Eventually what I'm doing in private will start to show up in public, and I won't be able to be dependable on myself or decisive in myself. So I encourage you, keep the promises you make to yourself. Number 2, control your inner conversation. No one else, not your children, not your spouse, not your closest friends can hear the conversations that happen in your head. And I promise you, most people are not as critical to you as you are. If you convince yourself that you're always going to fail, you will. If you're telling yourself that you're never going to be good enough, that you're never going to be able to change, that you're never going to succeed, how long do you have to tell yourself that before that narrative that you've been convincing yourself in private, that you've been thinking in your own head without ever saying the words out loud, how long till that narrative becomes your personality out there in public? How long until you feel like a constant failure? How long until everybody else believes that you're never going to change? So be careful that you don't lose control of what you're saying to yourself in your own head. Control your inner conversations. And then number 3, and I push you to this, learn how to reflect instead of react. Most people, when they come home from their day, they can replay everything that went wrong. But very seldomly, while replaying the day we just lived, do we review it. We don't ask ourselves healthy questions on, could I have said something different? Could I have handled it in a different way? Nor do we give ourselves accolades when we do something well, when we succeed. We just replay the events of the day, and we are ready to change our clothes, get comfortable, and forget about it and leave it behind us. Remember, your private habits create your public reputation. So keep your promises to yourself, control your inner conversations, and then reflect instead of always just reacting to everything going on around you in your life. I hope that this helps you have a much better week. These are things you can start doing right now today on Tuesday Talk in the next 5 minutes. So give yourself 5 minutes to reflect on how yesterday went and what tomorrow can be for you. And Lord willing, I'll see you again here next week for Tuesday Talk.